Brown Dog Gadgets live.
Hello, welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Live. I am Amanda, the Education Outreach Coordinator here at Brown Dog Gadgets. Behind the camera I've got Pete. Today we are building a spinning circuit. So we've got a running turkey. It's still a pie.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
they do.
We'll see what this turkey has to say. It'll have something to say. We'll see.
It's going to gobble up that pie.
It might.
Yeah.
But before that, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Also, the template for the project that we're doing today, as well as all of our other templates, guides, and directions can be found at browndoggadgets.com. And then if you have any questions while we're streaming, feel free to chat with us. We like talking with people. Otherwise, you can always email us afterwards at help@browndoggadgets.com. All right, so this one does have a little bit of green. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to have you switch to the overhead cam for me.
There we go.
Yeah, the grass is green.
It's greener.
So then this turkey is saying run, which
Right.
of course.
Right. Yeah.
And then when you tap run, it runs. Yay.
Yeah.
So all the circuitry.
Uh-oh.
We're going to build it. This is the black and white version that I colored in. So you've got the template for the two turkey legs, clearly.
Yeah, well.
You've got a couple different speech bubble options that you could create your own or just use our run version. We've got some paper standouts and our paper switch. And you've got the turkey template. And you've got the background as well that you can then color the grass.
Some tall grass.
Makes it fun.
Some tall grass.
I mean, I made some very fancy grass when I was coloring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I am going to use the in color version.
Excellent.
I know. Thank you, printer.
Right.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to start with our circuit. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our barrel motor to where our legs are going to spin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can use double-sided foam tape to attach it. Works fine. You can use hot glue, little sturdier. Really up to you. I'm probably going to bounce back and forth between if I use hot glue or double-sided foam tape in this project because, you know, why not?
Sure.
Now, when you're using a barrel motor, one of the things that I have assembled this incorrectly before where it looks like the turkey is running backwards. It just doesn't have quite the same effect. So it is important to kind of figure out the directional spin of your barrel motor. I would love to say that these wires are consistent
Yeah.
and it's always going to be the same thing. It's not.
I wouldn't love to say that because it's probably wrong half the time.
Yeah, we have found that that is not always the case. So before assembling this at all, what I'd like to do is figure out which way I want it to spin and then go from there. So I'm going to just grab my battery. I want to make sure it is spinning clockwise because that way my legs will spin clockwise. And this means the blue needs to go to the negative side of the battery, red to positive, which is what should be the case, but it isn't always. So I am going to have my blue come into tape path A here, which is going to the negative side of the battery. But testing that out is definitely important. All right, I'm gonna put a little hot glue there, or a lot, I guess. Came out a little faster than I was ready, that's okay. We'll just hold that in place, let that glue down, and secure it.
If you're going to have too much glue, it's better to have it on the bottom than the top, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, now I'm going to use Maker Tape to assemble our circuit. If you've never used Maker Tape before, Maker Tape is a nylon conductive tape. It is the far superior cousin to copper foil tape. Copper foil tape is just a pain to use in the classroom. It's not consistent. It is not always Z-axis conductive, meaning you can't usually overlap pieces. It is not very classroom friendly. Whereas Maker Tape is. We actually had someone recently who said that they ran out of our tape, so they just used whatever they had on hand and it wasn't working, and that was probably why. So just use our Maker Tape. It's way easier. It solves so many problems.
It's true.
All right, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do tape path A here. Tape path A is going to hold down the wire from our motor. I made some very large tape paths when I made this
Yeah,
template.
that's okay.
Yeah, you get the idea. I'm going to run my nail along the sides of that wire so I make sure there's a nice solid connection. And I want it a little longer. Oh, the great thing with Maker Tape is you can just add more. There we go. Now I'm going to add my battery. To do that, I'm going to take about 1 inch worth of Maker Tape. That's a little much, but I'm going to just roll it up a little tighter. And I'm going to roll it into a sticky side out tape loop. Now I do want it to be a tighter tape loop, not a loose one. If it is a loose tape loop, it can mushroom around the sides of the battery and short circuit the project. So I've got a nice tight tape loop right there on top of path A, and we'll put our battery right on top of that. Then we'll continue assembling based on our template. Got path C. And D is a little one. It's just kind of there to help make sure that I can connect my switch when I need to. I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, then I'm going to jump down to path E, which is going to hold the red wire in place. So right on top of that wire. And then path F, which is going to connect to my switch eventually. And it's not long enough again, so I can just add more.
Just add more.
Just making sure to overlap those pieces. There we go. All right, so I've got my basic circuit set up. I'm going to put a switch right here, a paper switch. That is so I can control my circuit. I don't want the legs constantly spinning. If I did that, I would never be able to see it anyway, and it would just be chaos. And then my battery would drain really quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got this paper switch. I'm going to use some Maker Tape. I'm going to start on the back side of my switch. Add just a little bit to the bottom on the back, and then wrap it around the front. And I'm going to let some hang off the top to give us a little tab to connect. All right. And then I want to make sure that this little pad on the back comes in contact with this part here. And then I want to make sure that the part that's sticking off touches the other pathways. Oh, there we go.
Working.
And then before doing anything else, you do, I mean, obviously mine worked, but you want to make sure you test it out to make sure that first it's spinning the direction you expected it to spin in and that it's spinning at all. Perfect. All right. Now we've got a couple different things that we need to do. We will need to attach our legs to the motor. And we need to create our standoffs because to add the turkey, we do need it kind of high to make sure that those legs have room to spin, they don't get in the way of anything, and they are uninhibited. So that's what the standoffs are for. So we will add our legs first. Add a little bit of hot glue to the back here. And let's see if I can show this. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
And I'm just being really careful that the hot glue only gets on the top of that barrel motor to make sure it can still spin freely. There. Perfect. Then my legs spin.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, next I'm going to take these 3 pieces here. These are our standoffs. I'm going to fold them at my dotted lines. Usually I pre-score things. I didn't this time. That's all right. Make them into little C-shaped standoffs. And a lot of the projects that we have that are layered like this don't have the whole barrel motor underneath something. It's not hidden by something. So a lot of the spinning circuit projects that we have can just use a little double-sided foam tape and it's fine. However, this needs more height to be able to have the whole barrel motor hidden. So it needs these standoffs to give it that height. All right, and you know what? I'm using hot glue again because it's here. You could use some thin double-sided foam tape for this step, but I'm going to put my standoffs onto these white squares with the C facing inward. That way, I mean, it does have clearance still, but if for some reason it bends over at all, it just gives it a little bit more space to make sure that it doesn't hit the legs. And my third standoff over here. There you go. And then we need to attach our turkey. Now, you kind of have to figure out where it needs to go to make sure that like the legs actually look like they're in the right place. Sorry, hot glue's making my legs move. One of the standoffs, the far right standoff, ends up going underneath the pie, and that's a nice little placement. The other one goes under this like bottom feather, and the third one is just up here somewhere. So you could use hot glue for this step. You could use double-sided foam tape.
Even if you're way off, it'll still work, right?
Yeah, for
Just
the most
making
part,
it look better kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really just lining it up so you don't see the center of your legs spinning down below. There we go. All right, so we already have a circuit that works, but I want to cover up the switch there just because it makes it a little more fun. So we made this one. This turkey is saying that you should eat ham instead of turkey. But to add this, I'm going to cover up that switch, but I need a gap there still. So I can't just put it flat down to the paper because otherwise I won't have that gap in between or in the switch to make sure that I can control it. So I am going to use some thicker double-sided foam tape on the back of my little call out. And I'm going to put it on the far sides. Just to give it a little bit of space so my circuit isn't constantly in motion. The one I showed you, I used a thinner double-sided foam tape, and it is precarious. If I bend the paper in the wrong way, it decides to go. Because the turkey thinks that you should eat ham and not turkey.
What about, like I've had tofurkey a lot for
there we go.
Thanksgiving, and
it is completely your call on what you want that to say.
All right.
Your call.
I usually just
But
have
this
pizza
one
now.
is saying eat ham. All right, so we're putting it right over that switch, basically to cover it up, give it a little bit more fun functionality, and then when you touch it, the circuit is closed.
Nice.
There we go. So that is our running turkey. Yeah. So
Go.
just a nice space. I mean, and honestly, those standoffs are tall enough where even if your legs are bent a little bit in one direction or the other,
Very good.
it really gives you a lot of clearance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is our running turkey. The template for this, as well as all of our other templates, is at browndoggadgets.com. Feel free to look at it, print it off. It's not behind a paywall at all. You don't have to. You can download it and use it at your leisure.
No registration required.
No registration.
We don't care what your email is.
Yep, you don't need to sign in to the page.
You can't.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Make an account so you can see this lesson plan. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, just
Yep.
download it.
So yeah, jump over there. You can grab the template. I do highly suggest printing on a heavier cardstock just to make sure that it stands up to the circuitry and the layered aspect and all that is going on for this project. Yeah. Tomorrow, is tomorrow Thursday? Is today
Yeah,
Wednesday?
Yes, tomorrow is Thursday.
Julius was here today. That's how I know today is Wednesday. Our office got cleaned today. Yep. Tomorrow we are doing chapter 28 of Microbit University, where we will be looking at a 360-degree servo with a push button.
It's true.
So make sure you come join us for that. If you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube. And then, like we said, all of the templates, guides, and projects can be found at browndoggadgets.com. And you can always email us at help@browndoggadgets.com.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Awesome. We hope you'll join us tomorrow for Microbit University. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. We'll see you next time.